I'm not the only person, but I'm a little bit tired of what's a good word for it? What would we call these? Virtual. That's what I was thinking. Not really, not virtual, but these out of the office conversations that we have, the Zoom meetings. And I don't know about you, we use a lot of different products. We use Zoom. We also use Microsoft Teams. There are a lot of different things that we use, but you know what I'm talking about. When you're not in the same room and you're trying to have conversations with somebody else, inevitably something, goes wrong. Somebody can't. But anyway, I'm at that point, like everybody else, I think, in the country. I'm ready to have face-to-face conversation with people. And I am fortunate because I work in what is called a essential business. And even during the height of the pandemic shutdown, I was still going to work. I'm going to work every day now, but other people aren't. And that's how you have to get in touch with them, is by reaching out. Okay, enough of my kvetching and complaining today. Let's move forward. So what's happening in the headlines? Let's catch up on what's going on. First thing we always like to do, is go to kfdm.com. So let's do that, see what we've got for you this morning. We'll start things off by looking at the homepage. And again, hoping and harping that the Toy Feast is coming up. We're 2 days away. We're trying to get a jump start. So we're encouraging people, if you have the time, to please text the word, and it's one word, don't separate it, Toy, T-O-Y, Feast, like somebody's eating a bunch of toys. I know, it's kind of a weird name, but it works for us. Toy Feast, and you just text the number that you see on the screen there, 91999, and if you do that, it will prompt you and lead you through the whole process of how to donate with your credit card. I think you can also do PayPal. I think there are a lot of ways that you can pay these days. But the point is, it's a chance to reach out, and what we highlight, you see right there on the left-hand side of the screen, benefiting these agencies: Women and Children's Shelter, Nutrition for Services, which is Meals on Wheels, Southeast Texas Food Bank, and the Salvation Army of Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Orange. These are all agencies that you're probably aware of. If you're not, we're trying to make you aware of them every single morning. We've been going on in and doing in-depth profiles. And I say I really have to say thank you to Jillian Furtick and Kelsey Borza for taking care of those and really making sure people understand where their money goes. Everything you donate stays right here in Southeast Texas. Nothing is going anyplace else, all right? So please, help us out, help us help. Whatever you can give, we would appreciate, and we promise we'll put it in the hands of people who can do good work, like the food bank, where they can take $1 and turn it into 3 meals. Meals on Wheels, same kind of thing. All right, so what's in our headlines this morning should be grabbing your attention today. Well, it looks like, unless something changes between now and the end of the week, there's a real good chance you're going to see some rollbacks happening across Southeast Texas because the numbers for COVID hospitalization, well above that 15% benchmark that was set by Governor Abbott when he put the mandate in place that says if you go 7 days with more than 15% of your hospital vacancies or availabilities being taken up by COVID-19 patients, then it automatically rolls back capacities at business. Currently, they're operating at 75. If this doesn't fall below 15 over the course of the 7 days on average, then you're going to see a rollback to 50%. And then banks, they'll be open. You can bank on that. But bars would be forced to close. And again, this is Governor Abbott's mandate that was put into place. Here it is right here. If you want to read the entire thing, you can go in and read it for yourself right there. All right. But we're in day 4 of the possible 7, and it's not looking good because the numbers are going up. I didn't get a chance to look at them, but somebody told me Orange County, and I was going to try to find them, and I didn't have time this morning. They had more than 200 positive cases in this last report, and we had, I think, more than 90 in Beaumont and 2 additional deaths. Again, hospitalizations, those are the key. You overwhelm the hospital system, then you got some real problems, right? Also this morning, you can see that we also have a story about gun sales and where they are here in Southeast Texas and what might be driving the gun sales. You can also go and check out a story you have about Governor Abbott talking about Operation Warp Speed as well. And of course, a lot of people are talking about this story, Texas entering the election battle with an embattled Attorney General for Texas offering up a we'll see. We'll see how far this goes. There are a lot of people that think that this is something, that will happen, but you can go and read the story where the Texas Attorney General files suit claiming that Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin destroyed the trust and compromised the security and integrity of the 2020 election. Most legal minds and or experts seem to think this is a very long shot, but it would be an appeal to the Supreme Court. We'll see how that plays out. But all those stories there on KFDM, if you want to take the time, certainly you can go and do it. I want to point out some stories that maybe you missed this morning. This is a story that I think that we might want to be a little concerned about. Idaho health meeting ends abruptly in interest of public safety after anti-mask protesters show up at officials' homes. Those are not the protesters. But if you read the story, essentially it says that Idaho public health officials had to end their meeting after the Boise mayor and the police chief got calls that said there are public and very violent, not violent, very vocal, on the edge of violent protests going on at their house. You can read it, USA Today. Here's the story, intense protesters. But anyway, they had, for fear, here it is, they're showing the Zoom meeting, when all of a sudden the people had to leave. One of them said, my 12-year-old son is home alone right now. There are protesters banging outside the door. Another board member, family physician Ted Epperly, said protesters were not under control at his house as well. They were supposed to vote on a mask mandate. And we're talking about protesters, beating on doors. Is this a sign of things to come? I guess that's my question. Idaho, you can read it, USA Today, Idaho health meeting ends abruptly because of concerns. Also, unlikely place, but look at this, at least 3 Texas Board of Education members test positive for the virus after an in-person meeting. So a lot of folks are very concerned about what comes out of this. At least 3 members tested positive after meeting for 4 days in November. Again, I'm going to let you do the heavy lifting. I'm short on time, but I'm just trying to point out stories that I think you want to know about. Also, one from Texas Monthly this morning, how the arrival of winter Texans threatens the Rio Grande Valley hospital system. 50,000 people come into, Texas every year. What do we always call them? Snowbirds, right? Fleeing the snows of the Northeast. And they come to South Texas, Padre Island, among other places. And now there are 50,000 of them come in the middle of a pandemic. And how that puts a strain on McAllen and other areas as they're trying to deal with this. And then finally this morning, as I said, I'm short on time, so I'm just going to be pretty brief. But there's our ending story, our lighter note, as we like to call it. How about this one from the Houston Chronicle? Hungarian Pizza Huts have 2 Texas-themed pizzas on their menu. So what do you think that they would put on a Texas pizza? I'm thinking, well, it must be like barbecue or chili or something. But one has a Texas, the other has a Dallas special on the menu. Their idea of a Texas pizza is topped with, you got it, barbecue sauce, grilled chicken, purple onion, corn, and mozzarella cheese. Where the Dallas pizza has mushrooms, ham. Actually, they don't look that bad. Especially the barbecue chicken pizza, right? All right, listen, I am done. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit scattered today. I've got a lot going on, just trying to get caught up. And I don't want to not talk to you. our community that we built through the time. I do want to be here as whenever I can here at the house to be able to talk to you and to be able to hear from you. And to that end, sign in this morning if you want to. Post a comment. Tell me something you'd like to hear about. Tell me where you're watching. Just say good morning. It doesn't matter. It's always pleasant to hear from you. And again, I read every one of these comments. I do, whether it's on while we're live streaming or afterwards. I promise I look at them all. So please let me know what's on your mind. Also this morning, quick reminder, you can follow us on Facebook as you're doing right now on the KFDM page. You can also go to the Twitter account. My Twitter handle is Morning TV Dan, and you can also follow us on YouTube, Dan's at Home channel. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll get notifications when we are doing the updates. It is just that simple. Okay, again, I've got to run this morning. I will leave you in hopes that you have a terrific day and look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more time and we can dive into things a little bit deeper. Till then, you go out and make it a terrific but safe day.